Alright, what's up, nerds? Can y'all hear us okay? Moment of truth. We'll see if all the stream setup was worth it. If you guys can hear us, drop W's in the chat or something. I don't know. Oh god. Oh god, do I have the stream open somewhere else? I do. Okay, there we go. Cool. Alright. Well, yep, alright, everyone can hear us. There's going to be a little bit of latency tonight because I'm using a streaming software, so I think right now the broadcast is probably about 30 seconds behind, give or take. So, we're just going to go ahead and get started. If you guys have any questions throughout the stream that you want answered, just drop them in the chat. Matt's going to be over here reading the chat on the side here. He'll be filling me in on questions and stuff. We have a bunch of props to show you. We're going to go through the rules. It's going to be sweet. So, yeah, shit, where do we start? I guess I didn't really plan this out. Alright, let's start with, let's just show off some cool shit first, I guess, right? First of all, event patch. These are the event patches for those who haven't seen them yet. They're super sweet and they glow in the dark. The little atom and the glow bit glow. Super dope. Let's see, what else? We got custom bottle openers for everybody that you guys are going to get with registration. That's pretty cool. And I guess we'll save all the perk cards and the tonic bottles and stuff for when we get to that part of the rules. But for the time being, let's just go ahead and talk about stuff. So, if you haven't read the rules already, please do before the event. But I'm going to go through point by point and just hit all the major stuff. And also, Matt, feel free to chime in if you have additional thoughts or if I forget things.
I'll do my best.
Hell yeah. Alright, so first of all, safety requirements. The safety requirements are always the same for all these events. If you guys have been to the Ragnarok Directive, you know what the safety expectations are. We have some muzzle energy limits and stuff. Typical rules for Paintball Sportsland: 400 FPS with a 2.0 BB, under 1.49 or loosely 1.5 joules. And then for sniper replicas that are bolt or manual action, you have to cock the gun every time, you can have up to 2.32 joules, which is 500 FPS with a 20 gram BB. Let's see. I feel like I don't really need to go through all this stuff point by point, right?
No,
we'll do all this in the safety briefing. Let's skip to the cool part. So obviously, Atomic Dawn is a Fallout event. We have a bunch of cool shit that's going to play into that this year. We have some new game mechanics. The dress code, obviously, every year we have the same conversation. As long as your loadout is in the spirit of the game, we're good. But we're trying to go for post-apocalyptic here. We're trying to go for Atom Punk if possible. So vintage retro stuff is super awesome. And I'm already getting distracted by chat. There's so much going on over here. Yeah, glow-in-the-dark patches, yes. That's super sick. We should see if we can show that off, actually.
Yeah.
I wish... Here, can you use this to charge it up?
Maybe.
And then we might be able to, kind of cover the webcam so they can see it.
I should probably use the projector.
Oh, press and hold the little power button.
Okay.
I gotcha.
Let's see. I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Probably not. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the patches are dope.
Actually, I got an idea. I'll be right back.
Okay. Good luck. Yeah, you can probably use one of those. Yeah, dope. Yeah, shit, guys. What do you want me to talk about in this thing? Put your questions in the chat. I'm sure people are curious about what's going to happen at the event. I always jump into these streams and I don't really know where the fuck to start. Because it's just planning these things, there's so many details that kind of float around. And then I have a tendency to... Oh, yeah, you can kind of see that. Here, come this way just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if that's... But... Yeah.
Shove the patch into the lamp. Yeah, we're trying.
That's what we did. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll figure out some way to show that off later.
Yeah.
What are the win conditions? Great question. So I've intentionally not been announcing what the win conditions are, but I'm going to explain how that works a little bit. Like last year, we have 3 separate win paths. There are 3 different ways to win the game based on what your playstyle is. So there's the quest win path, which is a little more detailed this year. There's the combat win path, and there's the what's the third one that I'm forgetting? The role playing win path. The thing that's going to be a little different this year is you're not going to have all 3 of those available to you on the same day. Actually, the quest win path is going to take place over the course of the entire weekend. So if you want to win that way, you have to play in all 3 parts of the game, and then on Sunday you'll be able to claim your win. The other 2 take place during the first day game and the night game, respectively. So depending on which win you're trying to get, and I guess I can show you what the win cards are. Or yeah, I'll let you do that. What am I doing? Sorry, I'm used to doing this solo. So we have Socialite, which is you can use any NPC as a respawn point, just a cool utility card. That's going to be the win for the role-playing win condition. And then we have Dynamo, which is the victory condition for quests, which is NPCs pay out 50% of quest rewards up front. And then we have Duelist, which is the combat win path card, which is you can challenge another living player to a melee or quick draw duel, and they must accept. And then other players aren't allowed to interrupt the duel. So those are the 3 cards. I'm just going to show the card back too real quick because I'm proud of it and it's cool. It's the same as the other Atomic Dawn cards, but gold foil. Let's see, what else we got?
There's camping.
Oh, camping size, etc. I think we probably have enough space for everybody to camp pretty comfortably. Matt and I were actually out at PBSL today, and we were trying to evaluate how that was looking. I think we have plenty of camping space, and if we need to, we can expand onto some of the fields that are higher up, which actually ties into another question I'm seeing, which is, what did we do to illuminate the hill this year? Put simply, the hill is just not in play. Town is not in play, and the originally we were going to make town into like an irradiated zone and have some cool stuff up there. Unfortunately, ticket sales this year have been a little smaller than they were last year, so in the interest of keeping everything kind of close and accessible and making the game world feel alive, we decided to do it just down in the woods. If you were at Ragnarok Directive, you'll know which fields we're using. But we're also removing Speedball from that, so it'll just be inside the wooded area. And we've actually added a bunch more locations, so there's more stuff, like there's more density of stuff. So if you were there last year and you saw all the empty dead boxes or hung out in the empty dead boxes, each of those dead boxes is now going to be a location in the game this year. So we have 5 major locations. The casino that we all know and love, and a lot of effort has gone into the casino this year. We have the new town for the NFC because theirs was destroyed last year as part of the main storyline. We have Volgograd Bastion, which is the same as it was last year, and we have we have the Crash Site, which replaced the Brigands Bazaar. And in the lore of the game, the Afterburners fell out of space in their space station and landed on the Brigands Bazaar, wiping it out. There will be a few characters who survived that, and they'll play an interesting role in the storyline of the game. And then there's one more location that I'm forgetting. Oh, Quantum Junction. Quantum Junction is going to be the big trading post for Atomic Dawn this year. And we're going to have a bunch... That's where we're going to concentrate all the player vendors. We're going to have a bunch of NPCs there doing cool stuff. We have, NPC-wise, we have the gunsmith, we have the healing vendor, and we have the Vault Tech archaeologist, Doug Graves. So that'll be pretty sweet. Let's see.
Raids.
What you got?
The raids. How do the raids work?
How do raids work? Yes. Okay, so we actually have an NPC who is specifically a raid leader. And Holy Father Tubbs, also known as the Star Father, is going to be swapping out with Koshi, our other raid boss. So basically the way that's going to work, there's going to be a raid crate that the raiders have to carry around with them, and that's going to be a mobile respawn point. Actually, this is probably a great time to get into the alignment cards and how all that works, because it's going to be pertinent to the raiding system. So, first of all, let me pull up the rules as it pertains to raids. Here we go. Yeah, cool. So, the rules actually talk about this a little bit. So, after receiving one level of reputation with the Afterburners, players will be able to respawn at a mobile raid crate until the crate is opened or the raid timer expires. So, basically, these raids will go on for a predetermined amount of time. It might be. I actually haven't decided what the amount of time is going to be yet. It might be 15 minutes. It might be longer. I'm not sure. But we'll talk about that and figure it out. Obviously before the game starts, and I'll mention that in the rules briefing when we actually are there ready to do the game. But anyway, so there's going to be a raid timer. When the raid's complete, if the players haven't stopped the raid and claimed the contents of the raid crate, then the raiders will be successful. And otherwise, the players can overrun the raiders, push them back to the raid crate, and open it, and then loot the contents of the crate. Now, what's going to be interesting about that is the raiders are going to be putting the stuff that they take into the crate. So there's going to be a lot of loot in the crate if the raiders are doing a good job, which means there's going to be a lot of squabbling over the crate and potentially extreme violence for people who want to try to claim that loot. So that's going to be awesome. And then let's talk about the alignment cards a little bit. So let's start with the Afterburners one because that's the one we're talking about. So we have a new alignment system this year. These are the alignment cards for those who haven't seen them. Each card has the 3 little spots down here on the bottom. Those are going to get hole punched with a special punch when you gain levels of reputation with a faction this year. So you can also maybe see... yeah, that looks pretty good. Cool. You can see the little stars here. For each punch that you get on an alignment card for your faction, you unlock a passive perk with that faction. So, for example, for the Afterburners, once you do one quest for them, you can start to join raiding parties and respawn at raid leaders. Once you get 2 stars, you can only be looted for caps, and if you don't have any caps, someone loots you, you just die and instantly walk to respawn. And then for level 3, if you're hit during a raid, you can respawn instantly, not in place, but you die and walk back to a respawn point instantly without being downed or other people having an opportunity to loot you. So that's what we got going on for the Afterburners. I could have sworn... Can I see that for a second?
Yeah.
No, that's great. Fuck yeah. Yeah, so that's the Afterburners. And while we're talking about it, let's talk about the other faction alignment perks, because I think they're really cool. Let's do the NFC first, actually. I like the NFC. So, New Frontier Coalition has some pretty dope perks. The first level of alignment, every Atomic Tonic cap... Oh, shit, we gotta talk about the Atomic Tonics. We'll do that next. So, we have special Atomic Tonic caps, like we did last year. When you get one level of alignment with the New Frontier Coalition, you can spend the Atomic Tonic caps as though they were worth 5 caps. When you get 2 levels of alignment, you get to choose what item a player loots from you. So you can be like, oh, here, just have some caps or whatever. As long as it's a legal lootable item, you can pick which one you want. And then for the 3rd level, you can use healing items on downed players even while you yourself are down. So if you and your buddy get shot and you have a healing item in your pocket, you can pop open the tonic bottle and pretend to pour it on them, and now they're back up, and then if they have a tonic, they can theoretically heal you too or whatever. That might be kind of broken and we might have to nerf it, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This is all about fun, so we'll see how the loopholes go. And then last we have the Red Syndicate alignment card, which is, so for the first one you can execute downed players, which is not a mechanic for everybody, forcing them to respawn. At 2 levels, you can players who execute have to drop a small handful of caps before they respawn. And then for the 3rd level, you can exchange prisoners from other factions for healing items at your base. And of course, this is with consent from the person. Don't drag random people to your base against their will. But if you down a player or whatever, you can go up to them and show them this perk and be like, hey, I'm taking you prisoner. We're gonna walk back to our faction base for points or whatever. Okay, Alphabet actually asks a great question here. Does the 3rd tier apply to yourself for NFC? No, you can never use a healing item on yourself, except unless a perk card specifically says that, which I don't think there are any perk cards that let you self-heal, if I remember right. I think there are cards that let you revive yourself under specific conditions, but none that apply to healing items specifically. Can you have rep with multiple factions? Yes, absolutely. If the faction NPCs don't check your alignment cards with other factions, it is fair game to interact with them and do all their quests and all that shit. So they're gonna have to be on their toes. They're gonna have to know who the enemy is, and same for players.
Let's not do
handcuffs allowed. No, thank you. That feels like a safety problem with just people having their hands bound in general, and we were kind of leery to do that at Ragnarok too with zip cuffs and prisoners and stuff. We only did that because they were event staff, and we knew that they probably wouldn't accidentally die. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. Actually, let me give you the mouse.
Oh, okay.
So that if you want to, oh shit, that's a very short cable, but so that you can kind of like scroll through stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cool. Because I got the
okay. Want to do that? Show the.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the tonic bottles. So we have really cool healing items this year. We had the stim packs last year. This year we made these really cool custom bottles. Matt printed like 200 of these fucking things.
Not just me.
Yeah, Matt and Ori and Ceci, who are also part of the manufacturing team and the role player team.
Really cool
Yeah, super dope. We have different. They're all the same print, but in different colors for the different flavors of Atomic Tonic. So these are the healing items this year, and to use them, that's what these engraved bottle openers are for too. Everyone's gonna get one of those and an Atomic Tonic when they check in at registration.
You want to pop one?
What's up?
Pop one?
Yeah, fuck it, yeah. So when you go to heal somebody, you pop the lid off. That's how you know it's been used. It'll deform the cap a little bit. You won't be able to get it back on, and then you role play pouring it out onto them or having them drink it or whatever. Use your discretion. And then that revives them. Alex asks, what is a handful of caps? Great question. When we're doing a handful of caps, we're not doing like a huge fucking, like as many caps as you can grab. It's like as many caps as you can fit in your, where's the camera? There it is. As many caps as you can fit in your mostly closed hand. And that should be about 20 caps for most people. What's the difference between a bottle and a stim pack? Put simply, there are no stim packs this year. We had stim packs as our healing items last year. Yeah, and the bottles replaced the stims this year. If you do bring your stim packs, like, cool, please, by all means, bring them. They don't count as healing items, though. And I will make an announcement, too, about a lot of the perk cards do specifically say stim pack on them, but that applies to whatever the active healing item is for the year. I didn't know that Atomic Dawn was going to be a series of events for the last one, and so now it is, and I have to retcon some things to keep things functional.
Oh,
but
I could put this on a light and turn off the lights and do that again.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, good idea. Okay, so Matt's going to go charge up the other patch. I'm going to cruise some more questions here. Let's see. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Syndicate for Domination. Hell yeah. What if I'm unaligned, though? I'm not sure exactly what that was in reference to, but, like, being unaligned is fine. That shouldn't affect your experience in any way. And, if anyone challenges... Oh!
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah. So
yeah, there you go. That's what the patches look like in the dark. Super cool. Oh, yeah. So for those who missed it, full auto is allowed this year. I just saw a comment here about, like, feeling like you barely shot at all, which is a sentiment that I've heard from a lot of people. So, I wanted to kind of make it a little more bloodthirsty this year. That's why we did the whole Afterburners thing. I'm hoping, and the full auto as well. I'm hoping that... I'm hoping... Sorry, I saw another question in chat that I'll address in a second. Good question about Idiot Savant. What the fuck was I talking about a second ago? It's cool. We'll just... Yes, full auto. So, yeah, we're hoping to make it a little more bloodthirsty this year, get some more combat engagements, because, like, I know people like to shoot. So, we're going to make the and that's also why we decided to do melee weapons only at night, because it's like, during the day game, we want to have a bunch of BBs flying. Like, we want it to be crazy, we want it to be dangerous to go out into the wasteland. That's the vibe we're looking for at Atomic Dawn, while also keeping all that fun role-playing stuff and, like, the immersion of it. But, at night, it's going to be all the same thing. The game structure is going to stay pretty much the same. We're going to have all the perks work still. We're going to have all the healing items work still. the faction alignment's going to work. There's going to be quests for you guys to do at night. The only difference is there's not going to be any eye pro required, and there's going to be absolutely nothing projectile on the field. So you don't have to worry about your eyes getting shot out. And
having a plastic dagger thrown at your eye.
Yep, plastic daggers being thrown at your eyes, LARP arrows, whatever it may be. So the night game's going to be really fun. I'm looking hugely forward to that. A lot of people have asked about flashlights and stuff too for the night game. Bring flashlights, please. And night vision is allowed this year. Just no crazy bright like illuminators or IR strobes or lasers, or really no lasers at all. Just want to keep it eye safe for everybody. And it's also not really necessary. Is there a flashlight lumen limit at night? No, but don't be a dick. Strobe, I would prefer that nobody be using strobe out there, because that is a potential health risk for people who have epileptic tendencies and things like that. So no strobes at night. Tubbs asks, are lightsabers loud? So yes, and with a specific condition. There are foam lightsaber sleeves that can go over the hard plastic blade. If you have one of those, you are more than welcome to use your lightsaber during the night game. If you're just bringing like a regular dueling blade, please don't use that on the field. Correction, we won't let you use that on the field. I personally have a lightsaber that I'm going to bring. I did not have time to get the foam cover for it, so I'm going to bring it for eye candy, but I'm not dueling anybody with that or anything like that. And I will just also say, coming from someone who has knocked somebody out with a lightsaber before at a LARP event, by just sheer wild coincidence, you don't want to be that person. It sucks. It sucks for the person doing the knocking out and for the person getting knocked out. So yeah, just keep foam covers on the lightsabers, please. And if you don't have the foam cover, you can still bring it for set dressing or whatever. Just please don't use it. Not to duel other players anyway. Okay, so let's see.
Rubber bayonets was asked.
Rubber bayonets. No, I think the rules for this one explicitly say only foam weapons, and I'm gonna stick to that ruling. I think, especially because we're gonna have an iPro off section of the game, and I think it's simpler to keep everything consistent for the expectation for boffer weapons across all three parts of the game, as opposed to changing it for each section.
And we will want to be looking at your at your foam weapons and whatever, anything that you're going to be bringing, whether it's a gun or foam weapon. We definitely want to.
So that's a great point. Last year we had some safety issues. This year we are not going to have any fucking safety issues. Matt is a very responsible person, and he's heading up safety for... What's up?
No, I'm just kidding.
Matt's very responsible. He's heading up safety for Atomic Dawn. We have a couple other people who are also like very rigorous about their understanding of FPS and joule limits, and we're going to have people checking armor, we're going to have people checking melee weapons. Like, at the end of the day, we want everyone going home with all of their body parts and with minimal damage to their skin.
And so the cold steel plastic weapons not allowed.
No cigar. It does have to be foam covered. Now, it's also worth mentioning, you don't have to have a melee weapon to play during the night game. You can do the pacifist thing, or you can hire bodyguards or whatever. Just, play it how it's going to be fun to you. But I honestly think it would be kind of fun to play the night game without a melee weapon and have that challenge.
And, light touch only, no whopping people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, good call. My friend got his forehead split open with a lightsaber. I wonder if that's the guy. I knocked out, because I split his forehead open with a lightsaber. I still feel bad about that to this day, but he was really cool about it. No plastic weapons at all for the whole event. Foam only. Yep. Pool noodle? Yes. By all means. Pool noodle is a great way to craft boffer weapons on the cheap. I know one of my role players made his own... Daniel's in here. One of my role players made his own foam sword, which is really cool.
That's who was asking. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, Dan's the one who said...
Oh, alright. Yeah. Well, yep. Cool. Alright. So that's... good on the pool noodles. Yep. His name was RJ. Yeah, I don't know if I even ever caught the guy's name that I bonked with that thing, but oh man, I felt so bad. He was chill about it though. We hung out in the casino for the rest of the night at Geiger Lands, and it was a good time. Yeah, let's look at the new perk cards. That's fucking fun. We should also show off the. Well, I guess everyone has access to the Perkydex. So if you want to look at the global set, you can do so there, and there's a link in the rules document, I believe. But also,
there was another good question there.
What's that?
Over plastic sword, is that allowed?
Pool noodle over plastic sword. As long as it has some flex to it, I think that should be okay. I'm gonna say solid probably on that, but also we are gonna check it and make sure that like if you whack somebody with it, it's not gonna cause damage. If it's over like a cold steel sword or something like that that has a ton of weight, probably not. I would probably err on the side of caution there. Right, so perk cards. There's some things, not things that are changing, but we have new perk cards this year. And we decided to do, or I guess I've decided to do the perk card system a little bit differently. So, last year we had 15 perk cards and 3 legendary perk cards spanning 3 different categories. It was like, I think it was like healing perk cards, combat perk cards, and role-playing perk cards, or just like general utility perk cards. Ooh, and I need to circle back to the question about Idiot Savant. Don't let me forget to do that. So, train of thought has left the station. Right, so what we're doing this year, I've printed a bunch more of the original set of perk cards. That's what everyone's going to be getting with registration. If you want to bring your own perk cards, you're totally welcome to do so. And if you want to get a new set for your collection or whatever, you can do that as well. You can get your 3 perk cards from registration. I can't think of any reason you wouldn't want to get 3 new perk cards from registration just to see what you get. But that's the ones you get with registration are just going to be the original set, and then you're going to be able to buy the new perk cards in game from the NPCs who they correspond to. So the perk cards are all kind of thematic. Like there's a casino perk card that you'll be able to buy in the casino. There's a healing perk card that you'll be able to buy from the healer, etc. There is a finite number of these. So this is a stack of one of the new perk cards. I don't remember exactly how many it is, but I think it's something like 50, I want to say. So not everyone will be able to get one, but there are 5 new ones, and you can kind of pick which one you're interested in and go pick that up. Let's see, what else about the perk cards? Oh, and obviously all these perk cards are going to carry over to future Demon Core Games events, and same with the win cards. So if you earn one of the win cards on the last day, you might be thinking, well, that's kind of useless. Oh, well, no, you'll be able to bring it to Atomic Dawn next year and be one of, I think, like 12 people who has that perk ever. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, what do we got in chat, Matt?
Are you allowed to bring your own caps? Bob answered yep, so.
Yep, bring your own caps. Great question, Dan. Number of perk cards allowed for use at any given time. So, last year, we had some issues with... It was an oversight on my part. Some of the perk cards allowed you to heal yourself infinitely over and over again by continuing to fulfill the conditions of the perk card. We were never really thinking about people... When we were designing these things, we were never really thinking about people using the same perk card over and over again. We definitely are now. So the way that works this year is your perk cards do have to be refreshed after you use them once. So a perk card automatically refreshes when you either respawn or when you use a healing item, specifically an Atomic Tonic bottle this year. So like for example, you could use one of the perk cards that was problematic last year was Vindictive. So you could use Vindictive and then you could drink an Atomic Tonic and then you would be able to use Vindictive again immediately.
And now it's one per go, so.
Yeah, right. I was just thinking if I needed to mention something or if it was indicated in the rules, but I'll just mention it anyway. You can only use an Atomic Tonic on yourself, just like the Stim Packs last year. You can only use it on yourself if you're alive, and the only reason you would use it on yourself while you're alive is to refresh your perk cards. So it does cost you something to use the same perk card repeatedly, which brings in an interesting mechanic of having duplicate perk cards is useful this year. because if you have 3 copies of the same card, you can then use that ability 3 separate times before you have to refresh your perk cards. Let's see.
Yeah.
Before we I see some other questions that are almost certainly going to take me off on a tangent. So, let's wrap up the perk cards. Is there anything else that we need to talk about with those that you can think of?
Just the number you can have on you, and make sure that others
right.
put away somewhere or something.
Right. So you can only have 3 at a time. Generally, if an NPC sells you a perk card, you're going to have to either trade in a perk. Yeah, you're going to have to trade in a perk for it, is how that works. And we're also going to have little plastic wallets for your perk and alignment cards this year. So that should hopefully make it easier for people to remember that they actually have the perk cards and use them, and same with the alignment cards. Stacking perks aren't allowed. No, but you can still have like multiple perks that interface with each other. You just can't like reuse the same perk over and over again. Alright, I think we beat perk cards pretty much to death. So let's talk about Brian's question here. If a plate carrier is your base for your outfit to hold mags and stuff, is that allowed or not? Yes, absolutely. You can still wear a plate carrier. It does not count as armor. I think we kind of specify that in the armor section. In fact, let's go to the armor section. Why don't we do that? Check that out. Look how fancy I am. Alright, so... armor section and power armor. We'll just go over it all at once. So, armor is only going to be plates of metal or plastic. Or, like other hard materials generally. Like, if you can tell that if it's an armor plate, then we're good. Somebody asked if you could have like cardboard with aluminum foil over top. It's like, make it look good? Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, tactical gear does not count unless it has a plastic or metal plate attached to it. So wearing a plate carrier, totally fine. Doesn't protect you from melee damage though. And it's also worth mentioning specifically that armor does not protect you from BB hits unless it's power armor and it's been approved by event staff as power armor.
And so yeah, for the power armor, I know there's very specific rules about the bells or how you have that. If it's not set up that way, we're not going to count it as power armor.
Right.
So make sure you read the bell placement rules very specifically and follow them.
Yep. So you have to have looking at the power armor rules right here. You have to have 3. What am I doing? Hang on. There we go. A little less. There we go. So power armor rules. Yeah, it does have to look like power armor. A lot of people have asked me if it has to look exactly like Fallout power armor. No, it has to be like bulky, fortified armor. It has to cover your entire body, ideally all of your body segments, or at least most of your body segments. You gotta have the helmet. You gotta have your upper and lower arms covered, chest, back of the body, upper and lower legs. But it doesn't have to specifically look like Fallout power armor. However, it does have to... where was I going with that? Oh, it does have to have these 3 weak points that Matt was talking about. So I like to use those desk bells that you see at like a hotel front desk. Those work great. You can kind of unscrew the base and the little like knocker thing and then just kind of screw that on in such a way that it'll ding when it gets hit. Or you can use jar lids too.
And they have to be in a... want to stress they have to be in a visible location and not covered up by any part of your kit.
Right. They can't be in a visible location and have like a piece of outerwear thrown over top of it. That's not legal. And we will consider that cheating, and you'll probably be asked to sit out or leave if it's a repeated problem. But I don't anticipate having that problem with anybody, so we're probably good. And then the placement is, if you ever run into a power armor user, this might be useful information to know. There's going to be 1 weak point on the chest or navel, and I specifically specified in a position that's not easily obstructed by the arms, so really like high chest would be the optimal placement for that if you do have power armor and are trying to build it. And then 1 weak point on the back of each shoulder, so power armor is going to be very vulnerable from the back. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, power armor does not protect you from melee. So if somebody taps you even in the armor plate with a melee weapon, you are dead. You can tank BB hits as long as they don't hit your weak points, but it has to be balanced. And then, power armor users can't use perk cards. That's another important thing. You can still have perk cards if you're using power armor. You just can't pull them out and use them. And that does include alignment card abilities as well. But that's only when you're wearing power armor. If you want to take your power armor off and use your perk cards and alignment cards for a little while and then put it back on, like, cool, no problem. Yeah. All right. Let's peek and see what else we got. I don't see any other crazy questions that we've missed.
Oh, there was the one earlier you were going to come back to.
Yes, the one we were going to circle around to. Idiot Savant. No, Idiot Savant is not an Uno reverse card. Some people misunderstood that. I think I made that joke in the safety briefing in Atomic Dawn, so that's kind of my bad for saying that. It is not a universal Uno reverse card. It only works, and I'll talk about this in the rules briefing too on event day. It applies to very specific cards. I think the exact phrasing is something to the effect of... Actually, hang on. Oh, shit, Jesus Christ. I think it applies to something very specific. Hang on.
Oh, yeah, let's just open up the pack. Okay.
Yeah, it specifically says when another player targets you with a perk. So that's going to be cards that say things like, do X to another player. It's not just going to work on any card that not any card that affects your interaction with another player. You can't just, like, get, like, for example, Fancy Footwork is one card, where your own grenades don't kill you or whatever, so you can't, like, have someone throw a grenade and then be like, Idiot Savant, you actually die. That's not how that works. It only works on cards where somebody has specifically targeted you. So, like, one good example would be, I think, Stealth Boy is a card where you can basically show it to somebody and be like, Stealth Boy, you have to look away for 3 seconds, and they have to turn around, and you can, like, run away or do whatever you're going to do. But in that case, if somebody played Stealth Boy on you and you played Idiot Savant, then they would actually have to turn around for 3 seconds, and then you could run away. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Thanks, Gene. Are LMGs allowed with regular mid-caps? Yes. Yeah, any gun is fine as long as it meets the mag requirements. The only guns that are really, like, specifically restricted are the sniper weapons. They have to be specific types of actions to be able to be chronoed as a sniper. How does trading work? Do we bring stuff into the event, or is there trading at the camping parking lot area? Great questions. So trading is in-game. We try to keep it as immersive as possible. There's actually going to be a specific place, Quantum Junction, that is going to be a trading hub for... I'm all the way over here. Get back over. All right, cool. There's going to be a spot that is specifically a trading hub where we'll have player stalls, we'll have NPCs who are trading stuff as well. That's going to be like the big player market. So if you're interested in trading, that's going to be a great place to go. We also might have some loose vendors scattered around the map, but for the most part, we're going to try and concentrate it into Quantum Junction, which is also a mask-off zone, and we're going to have bottled water for free for you guys there. If you need to take a break from the game and you want to do some trading, you can go in there, take your goggles and your lower off, drink some water, chill out, trade, etc. There are no guns allowed in those areas, in the mask-off zones, but melee is allowed, just, like, no throwing melee weapons, even if they are legal for throwing during or in the actual outside, like, wasteland area. Great questions. You can trade in the camping and parking area, and that might be more practical for some bigger stuff that would be hard to carry out onto the field. But generally, it's done within the game. It's like a part of the gameplay. Question about a perk card combo because it's cracked. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and hit me with your perk card combo, and I will do my best to explain how it works. And that goes for anybody. If you're curious about how perk cards interact, let me know, and I will do my best to explain it. That's the beauty of the perk card system. There are theoretically combinations that I haven't even thought of. And I know this because people found them last year, and it was very chaotic and interesting. Let's see. I have a...
I was going to say, to that point, too, the rules won't follow the spirit of the rules.
Yes, yeah. Definitely, we're going to be enforcing the spirit of the rules. There are technical loopholes that you could find in the rules, which is just... With something of this complexity, it's gonna happen. But at the end of the day, we're all here to have fun. We're all here to fuck around in this, like, sandbox system, basically. So, you know, if there's some kind of like issue with the perk cards where you don't necessarily agree on how it's interacting with somebody else's perk card or whatever, just like walk it off. It's not a big deal.
And the
You
same
know,
thing with the rest of the gameplay rules.
yeah,
If
with everything,
yeah,
that's the case. Sportsmanship and safety are my top priorities at all of my events. Like this is a place where we can go to have fun and escape the real world for a weekend. We don't need to bring real world beef and stupid shit into the game. That's just not what we're about.
are we doing barrel bags in the dead boxes for guns, or just leave it outside?
Yeah, so barrel covers I think are mentioned in the safety
Okay, because
rules.
yeah, Alex is asking about if if they have to leave the guns outside.
Yeah, sure. When you go into the dead boxes, yeah, you need to have a barrel cover on, and we'll probably have someone watching that to make sure as well,
So
because
yeah, so
we don't want anyone going into the dead boxes with.
yeah,
with
so if you don't want to leave your gun outside the dead box, you can bring it in as long as it's got a barrel bag on.
Okay, let's see. Do I have a map of the wasteland to show? So yes, but it's like an admin map. We handed out player maps last year, and while that was cool, it resulted in a bunch of litter and like people not really understanding where stuff was. So we're probably not going to hand out player maps again this year. Um, we might have some laminated copies of the event map with NPCs, so that if you need to figure out, or like if you're picking up a quest or whatever and you don't know where you're going, they'll be able to point you in the right direction. But we're not going to hand everybody a player map this year. Wow, so many good questions.
Gun trading?
What's up?
Gun trading?
Yeah. Do you want to show off the gun trading stuff?
Yeah, so I mean, basically, any gun that you're going to bring onto the field to play with has to be chronoed and it's going to have a chrono tag on it. If you're going to be bringing a gun that's specifically for trade, then we'll have some way to tape it off, and it will not have a chrono tag on it, so that gun cannot be used for play unless it at some point gets chronoed and tagged appropriately.
Right.
Um,
Okay, Atomic Freak and Cannibal. That's a great question. Let's take a look at that right now.
Oh, and real quick for the sound grenades, the sound that would count as a sound grenade. It was 15-foot line of sight for.
So
sound
I actually
grenades.
changed the wording from line of sight. I think it's if the grenade lands within 15 feet of you and there's not hard cover between you and the grenade, you are dead. And that applies to all sound grenades. With BB grenades, a BB actually has to physically hit you for you to be out. So sound grenades, definitely the way to go. Like thunder, no pyrotechnic grenades, but like CO2 grenades like Thunder V's or Thunder B's are fine. What am I doing right now? I'm looking for perk cards. Where did I put the perk cards?
And for barrel bags, it has to be an actual barrel bag. You can't just wrap something on there. We don't.
Right.
Yeah, guns can shoot through the bandanas and stuff, so it has to be a legit barrel bag.
Yeah, no gloves, nothing like that. Oops. I should have opened that in a new tab.
And they do sell barrel bags at PBSL for pretty cheap, so if you don't have one, you can buy one there.
Yeah. Yep, there's a pro shop at PBSL that sells ammo and gas and all that stuff, so if you need it, it's there. Alright, let's peek at those perk cards.
I actually probably have them here too.
Atomic Freak and Cannibal. And I'm just going through questions in chat in order, so if I haven't gotten to your question, we'll get there. And if I ignored a question that you dropped like ages ago, please put it back in the chat for me so I can see it. So Atomic Freak. When downed, you may continue to crawl on all fours and melee enemies with your hands until you are hit again or revived. Okay. And then the other one is...
Cannibal. Yeah.
Cannibal. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Cannibal. You may cannibalize a downed player within 20 feet of you to instantly revive yourself. They die instantly and must respawn. So I guess what you're probably asking is if you can be downed and crawl around on all fours and then get close to somebody who's also down and cannibalize them. Yes. You can do that. That is legal. Alright. Can we bring guns to them to trade as long as they don't have ammo, batteries, etc.? Yes. So that's what Matt was talking about with the purple tape. If you have a gun that... ideally, you can just chrono the gun and get a chrono zip tie and bring it onto the field, and then, you can trade it. It's ready to use for the person who gets it, whatever. If you don't want to do it that way, or you have a gun that doesn't have batteries or whatever that you want to trade, We still bring it to chrono. We can put some purple tape on it to indicate that it is an out of play gun and it needs to be chronoed, and it also won't have a chrono zip tie on it. So like if anyone's using that on the field, we'll know about it.
And a use case for that would be if you had a gun with a mag that you wanted to trade together because you don't want that mag counting against your mag limit.
Right. And we'll tape the mags and stuff like that
Yeah.
with purple tape to indicate that that's the case. So yeah, we have a system for that. For all gun related stuff, just go to Chrono; they'll take care of you. Let's see here. What else we got?
Somebody has 40mm launchables.
That's right. 40mm launchables. Let's see. I don't think anything in the rules specifically. I could be wrong on this, but because we didn't allow them last year. Where are the freaking? They're there. I don't think they were specifically disallowed in the rules this year. Limit.
And Brian, ask the questions. If you, that's what we're here. That's what this is all about.
Yes,
and
sir.
if you have the questions, somebody else probably does too. So, don't hold back.
Oh yeah, that's an important point that I'll definitely need to touch on in the briefing is reloading in and out of combat. That's kind of a unique mechanic to Atomic Dawn. Like if you're getting shot at or your group is shooting at somebody, you cannot reload and you got to switch to melee until the fight is over. So while there's probably going to be a lot of violence, like it might burn out pretty quick. It might be a lot of like really intense firefights that kind of end once people run out of ammo and then just start fighting each other with like wrenches and crowbars and shit.
Oh yeah, Daniel has a good point. Yeah, you need to have barrel bags for your guns anyways at PBSL. So
yes, this is true.
So yeah, so if you don't have
one,
one,
yeah. So even trading guns are going to need barrel covers. But yeah, we'll do the purple tape thing too to indicate that they haven't been chronoed and can't be used. But yeah, they do still need to have barrel covers, and I didn't mention that. Yeah, I think 40mm stuff. For whatever reason, I made it legal this year, presumably because for people who haven't been to Atomic Dawn before, we do require a lower face pro because of the venue that we use for AD. That's just their expectation, not ours. So we enforce that, but because we enforce that, that also gives us the ability to make it more violent and more, more firefight-y. So we're trying to capitalize on that, and again, there's 5 mask-off zones on the field. Like, every major location you go to, there's an area where you can go in, take your mask off, and drink some water this year.
Cerno, so the reload thing meant specifically like refilling your magazines. So you can't refill your magazines with BBs from your speed loaders or whatever in combat, but you can reload your magazines or refill your gun with shells or whatever. That's absolutely fine. That's expected. That's why you got spare mags.
All right, is someone watching our guns in the mask off zone? We kind of talked about that. Yeah. In the casino, there is going to be a bouncer who will specifically take your guns behind the counter and check them in and out. In the other areas, it's going to be kind of like put your barrel cover on, honor system, but we're going to have event staff, NPCs in all of those locations who will be keeping an eye out to make sure that everyone complies with that.
Let's see, there's another good question down below.
In reference to the, no mask. Yeah, okay, that's all cool. Quick sound grenade, yep, we hit that. Holsters allowed? Sure. Hell yeah. I don't see any reason it wouldn't be.
Oh, I think that might be
in reference to barrel covers?
Yeah.
I believe PBSL's policy is that if a handgun is holstered, then it is considered safe, and we will uphold that as well.
Just make sure it stays in the holster the whole time it's in the dead box.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, the Atomic Freak thing, I did that last year, right? Yeah. If you get down and you have Atomic Freak, I think that's fine. Wait for somebody to come approach you and then you grab them. Yeah.
Daniel, you're exactly right. Laminated maps. All the NPCs will have laminated maps this year. Yep. For Atomic Freak and Cannibal, are you able to wait for someone to loot you before you melee them and eat them?
As long as you're within the... was it Atomic...
Oh, I think Atomic Freak, the intent of Atomic Freak is...
Right.
It's when downed, not while downed. The wording is kind of... We were pretty specific about the wording, but it might not convey unless you know what you're looking for. But usually cards that say when downed mean like immediately when you go down. So Atomic Freak, if you're going to use it, you have to use it immediately when you go down.
Yeah, you don't...
So there's no waiting for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Can I reload and switch mags? Yeah, absolutely. You can swap between your... Matt already talked about that, I guess. You can swap between your equipped mags. You just can't put BBs into your mags.
Yeah.
And max reload is in pop my shell ejector shells out and swap them. That would be fine. Like if you have a single action army or something, reloading shells, totally chill. But actually like taking your shells and putting new BBs into them, that's what we're talking about when we say no reloading in combat. Did you already say that?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, my bad.
No. I was reading ahead. That's
all. All the guns I have would need barrel bags. Yes. How would the no reload mechanics work for bow users? Great question. They wouldn't. As long as you have arrows in your possession, you may fire. To be clear, LARP arrows. So these are arrows that are designed to be safe. I think even safer than airsoft, personally. So yes, as long as you have arrows in your possession, you can keep shooting. You can pick up arrows and put them back in your quiver and keep shooting. It is kind of a cheat code, but also like you're at such a disadvantage that is pretty balanced, I feel like. Tell us all about the casino. Hell yeah, we got a lot of cool shit in the casino this year. So actually, hey, can you grab the pistol case out of that bin?
Yeah.
So we have a bunch of dope shit planned for the casino, and huge shout out to Bob for I don't know why I call him Bob, to Connor, who's one of our casino dealers. He's really kind of taken the reins on casino stuff this year, and it's going to be super sick. We have roulette for the first time. We have a bunch of cosmetic decks of cards for all the card tables, so you're going to be able to pick what cards you want. We have the perk card. Can you pass me High Stakes? Oh, it's right there. We have High Stakes, which is a card that... nice little pun in there, too, with the card art. Courtesy of Matt. That lets you increase the table's hand size by one card, and if multiple people have this perk, or if you have multiple copies of this perk, you can increase the hand size by a theoretically infinite number of cards. So that's a cool little mechanic for the casino this year. We're going to have a bouncer, we're going to have drinks in there. Matt's going to be bringing a jockey box with some beverages like we had in there last year. Let's see, what else? Yeah, we're going to have blackjack, poker, and I think Connor has a plan to do different games on different days. Should be pretty sweet. We also have... interesting change from last year. So we're actually going to have a bouncer at the casino, or a sort of desk person. I don't really know what to call that title. But there's going to be someone standing in there to exchange your caps 1-to-1 for chips. Now, this presents a problem of, like, we only have a certain number of caps, like a finite number of caps that I am capable of bringing to the event. And I know that some people are degenerate gamblers and are going to gamble so fucking hard that they'll end up with, like, tens of thousands of caps and then try to pay it out and just break the casino. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have a limit on cashing out caps. And I don't know what that is. Connor, if you remember what that limit is, can you drop it in the chat for me? We're going to have a limited number of caps that you can actually cash out of the casino. However, you can get a theoretically unlimited number of chips. The person who has the most chips at the end of the weekend is going to win a very cool prize, which is this. If I can get it up on camera. We have a... Oop, that's not going to show very well. Here, Matt, you got two hands and you got the demo camera over there. That's probably a better angle. Yeah, dope. So we have a Hudson H9 that comes with 5 mags. It's a sweet little gun. I got it in a trade from Wagon Man ages ago, and upgraded a couple components, and then decided that it ultimately wasn't for me. So whoever gets the most casino chips over the course of the weekend is going to walk away with a nice little sidearm there.
And there are for the drinks, definitely not adding sugar directly to it. There was sugar last year, as Bob said. There will be sugar and artificial sweetener available, but I want to keep diabetics in mind, people who
Mm-hmm.
can't have sugar. So there will be option to add your own. So.
Yep. Hell yeah. All right. Let's see. Um, Bob is a walking rules encyclopedia. Yeah. Let's see. We got the casino. Using the sawed-off shotgun with a shotgun holster. Yeah, that should be fine. As long as the holster is attached to your body somehow and the shotgun stays in there while you're in a mask-off zone, no problem whatsoever. How many caps do you get when looting someone? So the rules state a handful of caps. The way we're determining that, and I'll say this a bunch more times over the course of the event, is the number of caps that you can fit in like your closed hand. So I'll demonstrate. Actually, we have a maybe I won't. It's on the bottom. Cool. Yeah, if you can bring the insane caps bin over here, that would be awesome. Oh Jesus. All right, that's impressive. So I have a bin full of caps here. I'll just demonstrate what I'm talking about. So like a reasonable amount of caps is like an amount that you can get your mostly closed hand around like this. And for most people, I think I have pretty average size hands. That should be like somewhere between 10 to 20 caps. And you know, that'll probably be at the discretion of the person you're looting most of the time because they're going to be digging caps out of whatever their caps container is. But yeah, somewhere in the realm of 10 to 20 caps. We didn't make it exact because like in Fallout, when you loot somebody, there's a randomly generated number that determines how many caps you get. So rather than just getting a flat 10 caps from every person you loot, which is kind of fucking boring, like, why not add a little variation in there? So yeah, you get a different number of caps from every person you loot, theoretically, but it should be somewhat consistent. Also, yeah, we'll cover that later. It's all good. Let's see what other questions we got. How many caps? Yep. I bought a drone from Ukraine. Can I use it for test purposes? No. Let's see here. How many quests are there? Good question. So there are. Not every NPC has a quest, but the NPCs that do have quests have, I would say, like pretty carefully planned quest lines that tie into the main storyline of the game. Unlike last year, where it was just kind of a free for all. We've done some planning this year. So the only real way to get the storyline of the game, if you are interested in it, is to participate in the quests. Each faction has 2 quest giver NPCs that will give a quest line. So each. I gotta chill out. I gotta explain myself slowly. Sorry, I'm getting too excited. All right. So during the day 1 game, all day each major NPC, quest giver NPC for the 3 factions, is going to have a quest available for the entire day, and then at the end of the day, something is going to happen based on the outcome of that quest. And then similarly, during the night game, every major quest giver NPC is going to have a quest. Something major is going to happen during the night, towards the end of the night game, based on what happened in the quests. And same for the last day. Now, all of these quests are going to be stacked on each other. So if you do the entire quest line for one NPC, day 1, night game, day 2, you're going to get the whole narrative of that NPC's storyline. And that's actually going to be one of the win paths, is completing a bunch of those quests. Completing the quests, by the way, is where you get the punches for the faction alignment cards. If you want to show one of those again, for the people who have joined since we talked about them. We have these faction alignment cards that give you passive perks from completing quests, basically.
Oh, I just see a question. Yeah, you keep going.
Okay. I think that's pretty much that.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's something like, I think, 6 major quest lines that you can do, and some of them tie together for the last day, which is when the quest-based win condition is going to come into play.
So for Scott's question, you're not allowed to touch other players without their permission. So the way that's going to work is that they'll, when you loot a player, they will provide with you what you're asking for.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So you're not reaching into their pocket or anything like that. That's
yeah, that's right. Yeah, no digging in people's pockets, no stealing people's personal items. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the 18 plus lower face pro question was
Let's see.
Do people need team? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to go through in
Gotcha.
order. I'm about to spend the entire time in Casino. Nice. Has anyone asked Bethesda to come by and see what their games have spawned? Yes, actually. Bethesda knows about Atomic Dawn. I can't say too much more about that, but they know about it, and it was posted in an internal Bethesda chat last year, which is pretty cool. Do people 18 plus need Lower Face Pro? Yes, everyone needs Lower Face Pro. Period. No exceptions. If you're on the field with, and I'm not addressing this specifically at you, question asker. If we catch people on the field without Lower Face Pro, we're going to remove you from the game. That is a hard requirement. People were cheating it last year. We're not going to tolerate that this year.
And ear coverage too, right?
What's that?
Some kind of ear coverage too? Or...
Yeah, ear protection is ideal as well. Though...
It's like soft.
It's not mandatory because of a thing that's changed since last year.
Okay, cool.
Let's see here. Do the caps the same way gold miners did it? However many you can pinch from their bag with 3 fingers.
That's what I was saying about the no touching other people.
Yeah, okay, alright. Are quest people marked somehow, or do we need to bug every NPC we see? So the quest givers are going to be the faction NPCs. There are some NPCs that'll just kind of be out and about, or they'll be in unaligned areas. Generally, the ones who are at faction bases are going to be the ones who are giving out quests. So it should be pretty intuitive. It'll be the ones who are hanging out around a faction base. That's where the quest hubs are gonna be. And also, all of the NPCs are gonna be wearing Demon Core Games staff armbands that'll be purple and like very clearly visible. So those are the people you can ask about work, and they should also be able to point you to the NPCs that have quests available for you, even if they themselves don't specifically have a quest. Oh, now it's important to mention, quests are a specific thing. We have quest cards that I'm working on right now that basically tell you when you get a quest from an NPC, they'll give you a quest card. It'll tell you where you need to go. It'll tell you what you need to do, and it'll tell you what the rewards for that quest are. Once you turn the quest in, they'll take that. You can keep that quest card as like a mark of completion, and they'll pay out your quest rewards and everything, and they'll give you your hole punch on your faction alignment card.
Do we have a staff band handy?
We don't actually, which is kind of an oversight, but it's pretty obvious. It has the Demon Core Games logo on it, and it says event staff. It's hard to miss. I'll be wearing one when I do the safety briefing at the event, so everyone will see it then. Alright, let's see what else.
Dead Rags.
Can main events throughout the day be broadcasted on radio so people can go to those? No, so we're changing the radio system a little bit since last year. We're not going to have live radio this year. We've parted ways, unfortunately, with the people who did radio last year. I won't go into that too much. But we are still going to have like music playing on the field. We've just pursued a completely offline, pretty bulletproof system for it. We have like speakers and downloaded playlists and stuff. Some specific to individual faction bases and stuff to make it more thematic in certain areas. So there will be music, but it's not going to be like live radio like we had last year. That is cool, and we're going to probably bring that back at some point in the future, but we need to pursue a simpler solution and something that's going to work better at PBSL, because the woods just eat technology. It's ridiculous. They eat technology, they eat guns, they eat mags. Whatever you take in there, the woods pretty much eat. Let's see here. After Hours Central Fire Pit. Yes, that is a go. We actually got approval to do that today, so we're going to have a big fire pit. So the layout is actually changing a lot from what we did last year. Instead of parking people in the usual parking spots and like down the entry road to PBSL like we did last year, we're going to park people in a big grassy field kind of further away from the event stuff. We do have a gator so that we can move people's camping equipment and stuff over as y'all arrive. And then the actual area surrounding the staging tent and like the briefing zone and all that, that's going to be completely clear of cars. That's where we're going to have the food truck. We're going to have the bathroom trailer there. It's going to be a sweet little compound where everyone can just hang out and have a good time. As part of that compound, probably out in the middle of the road, we're going to have a big fire pit. If you want to bring firewood, please, by all means. Like if you plan to cook over the fire or whatever, just nothing with nails in it or... Oh yeah, actually that's a good point. Because a lot of people are coming from out of state, I'm gonna go ahead and retract that. Don't bring firewood. I forgot that we talked about that, but there is a concern with migratory pests, so we will provide firewood. Um, yeah. Let's see what else.
Dead eggs.
How do quests work this year? Wasn't there a mention of a business card? Yeah, so that's what we were just talking about. That might have been an older message. I'm not
Oh
sure.
no, yeah, no, that's yeah.
But
Okay.
those are the quest cards that we were talking about. Um, let's see here. Well, they sell
Oh,
dad rags at PBSL. I think they do have some. Yeah, I'm not sure if they sell them or not though. I would advise play it safe and bring your own dead rag. And it can be any red, like it can be a red T-shirt for all I care, or like a handkerchief or whatever. Um, let's see what else.
can two people complete that?
Can two people complete a quest? That's a good question. I think as long as it's pretty obvious that you are doing stuff as a group to the NPC, then yeah, I think within NPC discretion, two people can complete a quest at the same time. Um, the quest rewards may be, yeah,
Up to NPC discretion.
yeah,
I
it's
think.
at NPC discretion, and the quests don't specifically say a value of caps or anything like that because the value of caps is going to fluctuate throughout the day. And so we don't want people to get stuck completing a quest and then getting like a piddly little fuck you payout of caps. So the cap payouts are also at NPC discretion. They're going to be trying to keep up with the game economy and the value of the cap throughout the day. So you might get more or less caps as the event goes on, but like at the end of the day, they're bottle caps. It is what it is. Um, the actual things that make a huge difference to gameplay, like healing items and stuff, as quest rewards, those are going to be more specifically like numbered. Like an NPC might give you 1 or 2 tonic bottles for completing a quest that pays out in tonics. Um, yeah, Fire Pit After Hours, hell yeah. Will there be a newspaper this year? No, but there will be a journalist. Those are all kind of things that were lumped in with the radio station we had last year. And again, I won't go into that too much, but we are again. It's like one of those things. I'm sure you can see. I have all of the newspaper articles framed on my wall. I'm really proud of those. I think they're dope. I want to do that again in the future, but we just don't have the technological capacity right now to do that. We will probably next year be able to do the radio station and the newspaper stuff again because I think that's super cool. See what else. Y'all brought an alligator. Yeah, something like that. An alligator that runs on gas and carries a lot of cargo.
Comms.
What's up?
Comms.
Yeah, comms are fine. People voted that they wanted comms, so comms are cool. Knock your selves out. I don't know. I got lost in the middle of that idiom. Yeah, comms. Oh, Fight Pit After Hours. Okay, all right, I see it now. Yeah, we will probably have a melee pit at some point. I would assume during the night game is when we'll probably end up doing that. We want to do it at a peak time when people are interested in doing it, so we'll play that by ear. Is this a fast-paced event in terms of gameplay and quest completion? Also, can we bring bottle caps from outside? Yes, you can bring your own bottle caps from outside. It doesn't matter what kind of caps they are. 1 cap equals 1 cap in the game economy. There are no like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not increments, but there are no denominations for cap values. Is it a fast-paced event? It's a sandbox event, so like you can play it fast-paced if you want. You can sprint around all day, lighting people up and looting them as fast as you are physically capable of doing, or you can just walk around and explore the game world. Like that's the beauty of it. Everyone is going to play the game in a different way, which is what makes it fun and interesting in the first place. There's going to be people who come with like a very specific personal objective in mind, and are just working all day to try and get that done. Also, what am I doing? We don't need this. Let's go back to main. There we go. There are going to be people who are trying to complete their personal objectives. There are going to be people who are just going to like to do stuff that makes people go, oh, what the hell? Like, it's there's all kinds of stuff that happens. Some people play the game. Some people just stick around. Like, play it however you're going to have fun. I would say as far as the in terms of gameplay and quest completion, like, I think it would be difficult to do all of the quests in a day. I think it's possible, but I think it would be difficult to do everything the way we have it set up. Oh, and that's the other thing I was going to talk about earlier too, is the quests are a very specific group of NPCs. The other NPCs also have work available, but it's a little more loosey-goosey. Like, for example, the healer might have some stuff that involves, like, well, I won't speak for him, because he has his own whole, like, thing planned out. But yeah, there's other work available. There's going to be a player-run bounty table that you can participate in if you want to bounty hunt people. Like, there's not going to be any shortage of stuff to do at Atomic Dawn. Yeah, so... Wow, we covered a lot of ground there. Does anyone else have other questions about stuff that's going to go on? Anything we've talked about already? Logistical stuff? Play however you have fun. Acquired gummies on Wednesday. Okay, so the ruling on that, we are good for... I don't want to explicitly say that we're 420 friendly, but the rules, the drug policy says no illegal drugs at Atomic Dawn. However, 0 intoxication on the field. That includes weed, that includes illegal drugs. Don't do cocaine or meth and then go play the game. Like, self-explanatory, don't drink alcohol and go play the game. No. If you want to do any drugs or alcohol, you need to be at your campsite for the rest of the day, or like until you're beyond sober to go back onto the field. But all that to say, like, the policy is, if you're camping, BYOB. Like, you can bring beer and wine and drink. You can
within reason. Yeah.
Within reason, yeah. I will probably smoke a little bit after the games conclude for the night. We just want to make sure there's no safety issues, and no one is ever going to be allowed onto the field while they're intoxicated. And of course, like, that's an instant life ban from DCG events if you're like drunk or something on the field. That's crazy. We want everyone to be safe and have a good time. When's the cuddle pile? Probably during the camping part. Let me know when you figure that one out. It's not Coke, it's Jet, I swear. Nice. Matt looks like he's scared for his life. Yeah, I'm holding a gun on him right now.
It's just off camera, you can't see it.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anything we didn't cover already? We've already been at this for like an hour 20, which is crazy. It kind of flew by. Can you think of anything you want to talk about?
I think you covered it. Everything I could think of.
Hell yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can excitement dump about. Do guns have a dress code? Can I bring a high kappa with an M4 adapter? That's a good question. I think generally I would say, like, if you have the ability to keep it in the spirit of Wasteland theme, then sure. But, like, if all you got is a gun that doesn't have any stuff on it, whatever. No big deal. Like, we want this to be accessible for people. Just, don't ruin other people's immersion too much. And, of course, obey the game rules about mags and stuff like that. But, yeah, I have no problem with pistols with adapters. That's Fallout as shit. Fuck yeah. Any other questions? If nobody else has anything, I'm probably going to start wrapping this up, because we covered a lot of ground, and I'm really excited for Atomic Dawn this year. Another iteration, can multiple people do the same quest at once? Yeah. It'll be at NPC discretion, though. Like, if an NPC sees you walk up to somebody who's just completed a quest and is like, oh, I actually helped with that, like, they're probably not going to give you quest rewards. But if you're clearly, like, together as a group, then yeah, for sure.
I think maybe can multiple people do the same quest, like, on differently? I don't know if that's what the question was.
Can multiple people do the same quest?
Like, be assigned the same quest. Can multiple people...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A bunch of people can do all of the NPC quests at the same time, unless we, like, run out of props for the ones that require props. But, like, even if we run out of props, those things will get reset at some point during the day. I have a whole team to help me reset the field and stuff. So, even if we run out of props on the field or whatever, just come back and try again later, and it should be reset.
Cool, yeah, that's kind of how I read that. I have no idea if that's what they meant, because...
Brian says, I'll say this now, my costume has animal parts, but none of them are real. I'm not that guy. Yeah, I got some animal parts, some fake animal parts on some of my stuff, too. Including a motorcycle that I'm going to be bringing that has, like, a deer skull in the front, so... Yeah, no worries on that. It's part of the cosplay. It's dope. Um, yeah. All right, well, guys, I guess we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks for coming in here and chilling. Um, yeah,